All right, lovelies, come to seated. Welcome to any new people today. I'll try and make sure to go over the basics. I love that there are people practicing outside. Matilda, Kara, Hannah, is that you, Hannah? Hi, Hannah. Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, pretty soon I was actually walking by the park just a few minutes ago, and Kara and I were thinking that eventually I'm going to have to do this in the park. So I'm going to have to get unlimited data. Here you go. Oh, sorry, Sharon. I will help you with the tech if tomorrow. All right. Close your lips. Smile your lips. Smile your eyes. Close your eyes. Deepen your breath. Lips remain closed, and just breathe in and out through your nose. Getting used to this sensation of breathing through your nose. I don't know if any of you are trying this. I'm trying it for sure more, to breathe through my nose, even when I exercise. You can't do that forever. You will get to a point where you do need to go in a little bit into the emergency zone, and you do need to breathe through your mouth, but give it a try. See, when you're running or biking, or I guess those are the only two things we can do when you're running or biking or walking. Get used to that sensation, especially if you have been a mouth breather in the past. Get used to the sensation of breathing gently through your nose. And now let your breath fill your whole torso. Soften your face, and then let that wave of softness ripple down through your torso, through shoulders, so neck, shoulders, thorax, pelvis. And you can try that with each exhale if you like. Take an inhale, and then literally feel it ripple down. Softness ripples down, neck, shoulders, chest, belly, pelvis. Release your pelvic floor at the very end. And one more, just to get used to it. Fully release. And now let's just gently pop our eyes open. I'm going to introduce a new technique today. We're going through a lot of breath work. I was just writing it out the other day for my blog, and there's a lot of stuff that we've done, but I'm going to do one more, and then we'll call it a day, and we'll just practice those. This one I got this one also from my friend and teacher Camille, who's a voice coach. I don't know what she calls it, but I call it squeezing a tube of toothpaste. So take a deep inhale, and as you inhale, you're going to do the reverse of what we just did. As you inhale, fill up your entire body and feel your pelvic floor drop towards the chair or the floor. That might be an unfamiliar sensation. You may say, Nikki, I can't feel my pelvic floor. Just pretend. Let all your nether regions drop, at least in your imagination. And then when you exhale, I'd like you to raise your pelvic floor as if you're exhaling, squeezing a tube of toothpaste out the top of your head. All your muscles come up. And then inhale, release everything. Pelvic floor descends. And then exhale, squeeze the tube of toothpaste out the top of your head. Lift your pelvic floor, lift your thorax muscles, lift everything. Squeeze that tube of toothpaste completely empty, and then release. The metaphor doesn't quite work in the opposite direction because toothpaste is never going to go back in the tube. But anyway, imagine there's like a warm liquid filling you or something. Get really soft and balloon-like, drop your pelvic floor. And then exhale, tube of toothpaste. Here we go. Through your nose. Butt muscles come up, stomach muscles come up, diaphragm comes up, everything comes up, intercostals come up. Get really empty. And then release. And the release is effortless. The air will come in mostly, sort of 90% is effortless. And then at the very end, take a deeper, deeper breath. Drop your pelvic floor. And 2 more times. Squeeze that tube of toothpaste. Tighten up your glutes, tighten up your abs, tighten up everything. Now you can hold a little bit. Hold for 1 or 2 counts. And then release. And your body's like a balloon. It'll just kind of open. Release everything. Last one. Full tube of toothpaste. Exhale. Pelvic floor rises like a little elevator. Hold. And then release. Let your breath come in gently. And return your breath to something smooth. Notice any effects. You're always welcome to hold your breath for longer or shorter than I do, or not at all. And take 1 more breath, beginning to just deepen your breath. So even exhales and inhales, but deeper. This is our breath for the practice. So we're going to stay with this breath now. Inhale. We're going to take our seated cat-cows. Inhale your chest forward. And exhale your belly button back around your spine. Inhale, unfurl like a fern opening up. Good spring-like image. And then exhale. We're going super slow here. Exhale. Tuck your chin into your chest. Push. Empty your belly. And then we can begin to go a little faster. Or stay with slow. Whatever your body's looking for today. And you guys many of you have been practicing long enough here to know that you can, of course, take one of the shapes and hold it and breathe. Or you can go super fast. I don't know if Lara's going super fast, but you can go super fast. You can speed up your breath, or you can do a couple of cat-cows for each inhale and exhale. So find your rhythm. Exhale forward. Inhale forward, exhale back. And 2 more breaths, whatever that looks like for you, fast or slow. And now come forward all the way. As far as you can, push your chest forward. Interlace your hands behind your head. And you've got to take a big inhale here. And a big exhale. Hold. Push your chest forward. Now imagine that the Jolly Green Giant is pulling up on your elbows towards the sky. So take a couple of breaths here. And now we're going to do cat-cow again, but with our hands up here. So exhale, bring your elbows towards each other. And if this gets a bit tiring, which it will on your upper arms and your shoulders, you can bring your hands to your fingers to your shoulders. Inhale, take another couple. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale, bring your elbows towards each other. See if you can touch them. Butterfly your elbows purposefully. Last 2. Last one. Feel all the big muscles of your back, shoulder muscles working. And now curl in like a snail. You've got both hands on your head. Curl in, bring your elbows into your lap, towards your lap. Push your chin into your chest and take a few breaths. A beautiful stretch on the back of your neck here. And let's do the Jolly Green Giant pose just one more time. So inhale, open, and remember this is the variation. Fingers on shoulders. Inhale, open, elbows point up to the sky. And then when you're up here, let's just do a couple of random movements or circles, something up here where you move around, moving around the fascia of your back in particular. And then we're gonna go back into our snail pose. Bring your elbows back in last time, back into your snail pose. Curl your elbows into your lap. Take one breath. And then unfold. I don't know about y'all, but I need to shake my hair. Settle your shoulders. And let's come into Sufi grind. So Sufi grind, you know you can be doing this on hands and knees as well. And what we call this on hands and knees is called barrel rolls. But here, seated, it's called Sufi grind. The basket of your ribs is making a big circle in one direction. And we're watching our shoulders. We've done some work with our shoulders already, so they're a bit warmed up, fascia sliding a bit. Notice what happens with your shoulders. And then if you want to engage your shoulders even more, engage your fingertips on your knees or on the flesh of your legs. Engage your fingertips and notice what happens to your shoulders. Gently reverse directions. Remember, exhale back, inhale forward. Do a couple slow. And remember that feeling of being completely empty of air. See if you can get that when you come back. You're in cat pose here. And when you come forward, you're in cow pose. Last few, and again, you can be doing these quickly, especially if you're gonna go running after this or something like that. Nice to get a bit more of a warm up. Come back to center. Pull one arm across your chest. We did this yesterday, just to get the rotator cuff muscles a little bit stretched out here. And then right elbow up. And if this is too much, if you have elbow sensitivities, you can stay here with this. This hurts. But if it doesn't hurt, you can do a little bit of a side bend, both sides. And I'm going to walk back to the couch and we're going to move into sun salutes. So if you're standing, or if you want to do the sun salute standing, come to standing. If you want to stay seated, you can be seated on the floor or on the couch. Extend your legs in front of you if you're on the couch and you want a little more stretch, and inhale your arms overhead. Let's just pause here and take 3 breaths. With each inhale, get a little higher. With each exhale, release. Last one, big inhale, get a little higher. Push your hands towards the ceiling. And then let's swan dive. From that big inhale, big exhale. Inhale, half lift. Bring your hands to your knees or your thighs and push your chest forward just like you're in up dog, and then exhale, forward fold. Inhale your way up, right knee comes into your chest or back if you're standing, and you're in a lunge. Take another big inhale here. Pull your forehead towards your knee. And then exhale, downward facing dog or neutral pose sitting. take upward dog or cow pose. Inhale your chest forward. Exhale it back. And now we're going to inhale our left knee up or your right foot back. Come into your lunge on the other side. So this is a seated lunge. My feet are quite flexed to increase the intensity here. Let's take one more inhale together. And then we're going to forward fold. Swan dive forward. Here we go. Step up into forward fold if you're on the floor. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. And inhale up. Neutral pose. Let's do the other side. The left foot moves this time. First, inhale overhead. Exhale, fold. My knees are bent this time. Watch those knees. Inhale, half lift. Once again, fingers in the flesh. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Left foot is going back into the lunge or knee is coming up. Inhale, straight spine if you're seated. Exhale, forehead towards your knee. Really push. Inhale, straight spine. Exhale, neutral, downward facing dog if you're standing. Here we go. Inhale, chest forward, upward facing dog. Exhale, cat pose or downward facing dog. And now inhale, left leg back or right knee in. Take an exhale, push your forehead towards your knee, round your spine. Inhale, straight spine. We're going to take a forward fold. Release your leg, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, long spine. You can grab your knees for this. And exhale, all this hip hinging, so good for the thoracic spine and the hips and the pelvis. Inhale up. And exhale, neutral. So that's one full traditional sun salute with an up dog and a down dog in a seated position. We kind of invented this. Let's do another one a little faster. Inhale overhead. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, long spine, half lift. Exhale, fold. Right knee comes in. Follow Lara if you're doing a standing pose. Exhale, forehead towards your knee, pull. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, neutral. Downward facing dog if you're standing. Inhale, push your chest forward, ripple it forward. Look up at the ceiling and then exhale, downward facing dog or cat pose. Right foot comes forward, left knee comes in if you're doing the seated version. Squeeze and straighten your spine. Push the crown of your head towards the ceiling, then exhale, forehead to knee. Inhale, long spine. And we're gonna dive forward, here we go. Enjoy these dives forward, these big forward folds. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up to neutral. Use your belly here. Exhale, neutral. Let's go straight to the other side where the left leg moves first. Inhale, overhead. Big inhale. Where's your pelvic floor? Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, beautiful fold. Unfold your vertebrae. Big inhale together. Inhale, step your left foot back or pull it into your chest. Straight spine, hug your knee. Exhale, squeeze your forehead towards your knee. Big inhale, long spine. Exhale, neutral, down dog if you're standing. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale, chest back. Left foot comes forward, right knee comes in if you're seated. Squeeze, straighten your spine. Lift the crown of your head. And then exhale, forehead towards your knee. Inhale again, straight spine. And exhale, swan dive. Forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Use your belly. In we go, up to neutral. Hold here. Hold high. If you want to stand up off your chair or stand up from the ground, hold this big, powerful pose. Take a breath, push your fingers up to the ceiling, push your shoulders way up, push your toes into the floor. Feel that, engage your belly as you do this. And then let's take power pose, spread your fingers wide. Take a few breaths here. Fill your lungs and then exhale. One more, fingers are strong, strong, strong. Make stars with your hands, big inhale. Let's take a swan dive. Here we go. Forward fold. Bend your knees a tiny bit and exhale, fold. If you're standing or if you're seated, bend one knee and bend the other. So your legs are spread out in front of you if you're seated, and just gently bend one knee and then the other. You can have your torso as close to your knees as you can so you get this little tugging sensation under one leg and then under the other. Bend your right knee, bend your left knee. Just take a few bends. If you're standing, it looks like this. Maybe it looks like this. Getting your hips moving. Last breath. Come back to neutral wherever you are. Engage your belly and reverse spine, reverse swan dive all the way up. Combine your fingers. Big high pose. Push your biceps to your ears. Squeeze. Lift to the ceiling. And we're going to do our little side bend here. So if you're seated, it's exactly the same. Find your way into side bend, side to side. Nice and slow. Remember the belly here. The belly is what's doing this. It's tempting to do this with the low back. I don't know why. Anatomically, we want to do this, but we want to do this with the low back, and we want to do this with the low body. We want to move our low body. Resist that temptation as much as you can. Make your low body nice and strong, firm foundation, and then you'll get all this work in your abs. Take a break here. Bend your knees, bend your elbows. If you're sitting, just bend your elbows. And then we're going to take a maximum side stretch. And you can release the arm on the side you're stretching to. So release that arm and exhale, stretch. If you're standing, you can release the arm if you like. You can release it to your leg. Actually do that. It's actually a fun variation that we haven't done yet. Release the arm that you're bending towards and take a few breaths. Now, if you're standing or if you're seated, really, either, imagine that I'm pulling on your third finger. I'm giving a nice tug on your third finger to really get you into your side body. Last breath. We're going to come up and over, lift that arm that's down, bring it up to the sky. And then exhale. The other arm wiggles down your leg. Remember, this is still in the belly here. My legs are strong. Deepen your breath. Imagine that tugging. I'm going to tug on Sasha's finger right here. Take a few deep breaths. You can push you can put your non-working hand on your leg for support if you like. Now come back up to center, bring your arms up, and you know where we're going. Here we go, dive forward. Take a forward fold, whether you're seated or whether you're standing. Delicious forward fold, last one. If you're standing, you can take any of the classic forward fold postures. You can grab your toes with your second and third and thumb. You can stick your hands underneath your feet. Deepen your breath. And one more. Enjoy one more deep breath, especially if you're outside. Gently release. Remember, when we release, we're coming up with our belly. And come back to neutral. Take a breath. Lower your shoulders. Check in with your scalp, your jaw, your shoulders. Soften it all. Let's do a little goddess. I think it's been a few days since we've done goddess. If you're standing, come into goddess pose, looks like this. If you're seated, come into goddess pose, looks like this. If you're on the floor, you can bring the soles of your feet together or on the ground. Take a couple of breaths here. Just find your goddess pose. Spread your legs as wide as you can. You can even put your hands inside your knees and push them outwards. And then bring your arms up to goddess pose. Forearms are parallel to the floor. Sorry, upper arms are parallel to the floor. Forearms are pointing straight up at the sky. Fingers are wide, like that pose we just did. Remember we starred our hands? Star them a little bit, not quite as much. And then we're gonna inhale them up. Touch your fingers and then exhale them down. Maybe we actually did this yesterday. I don't know. All the days just blend into one. Here we go. Inhale up. Lift a little bit off the couch. Remember we pushed into the floor with our feet a little bit. Bring your fingers to touch and exhale down. Last one, big inhale. Exhale, hands all the way down. Bring your hands to your knees and exhale, dip your right shoulder forward. So if you're on the floor, you are in butterfly pose and you're dipping your right shoulder and then you're dipping your left shoulder. This may be more comfortable with crossed legs if you're on the floor, but your hands are on your knees and you're consciously bringing your right shoulder forward and then your left shoulder forward. I want to get into rotator cuffs here. To really dipping and then dipping. Couple more. Dip one shoulder, and if you want to pause there and explore that little range of motion there where you are far forward, explore what your shoulder does when it's reaching for the floor here, you can. Direct your breath into your shoulder and then gently come back up. Now we're going to do a counter pose. Place your hands behind you on the chair. If you've got a chair with a back on it and you can reach, you can bring your hands to the top of the chair. But otherwise, they're just behind you. And if you're seated, it's exactly, if you're on the floor, it's exactly the same thing. So just bring your bum towards the edge of the chair as far as you can. If you're on the ground, it's a little easier. Move your feet away from your bum away from your hands and take a few breaths. Now, there's a variation for this if you're on the chair, and I'll show this to you today. I'll show it to you from the side. You could bring your bum off the chair, keep your hands on the chair. Only do this if you're really solid, and you can come down to the floor or a pillow or something and get a really strong stretch in your shoulders. You can also do it the other way around. Start on the floor, back up to the couch, put your hands on the couch of the chair, and then wiggle. You can do that right behind you, Sash. And then wiggle your bum away. So figure out which of the variations you're going to do here and then hold and breathe. If you're on the floor, just on the ground, it looks like this. I walk my bum away from my hands and I walk my hands towards each other. And now everybody, no matter what variation you're doing, lift your chest on your next inhale. And keep it lifted on the exhale. Next inhale, push your hands into whatever your hands are hitting. And exhale. Last one, big inhale. And now we're going to take a hug pose. So bring your hands out like eagle wings. Actually, let's give them a shake first. That was pretty intense. Then find your eagle wings and take a hug. I'm going to do my right arm under my left arm, hug. Walk your fingers towards each other across your back. You can, if you like, if you want something different today, walk your fingers a little lower to the base of your shoulder blade. That's the bottom of my shoulder blade right there. You can bring your hands below and then just start to wiggle. If you bring your fingers low, you get more of a breath exercise. If you bring your fingers high, you get more of a shoulder exercise. Deepen your breath. And then we're going to open our arms like eagle's wings again. Notice how they just float after you've been doing this work. They just float open. And then other side. My left arm is going under my right. I'm wiggling my fingers towards each other. I'm taking the low variation today because I've been doing this a lot lately. So I'm going to bring my fingers quite low on my rib cage. And then wiggle. Deepen your breath. How's it look, Sash? Sasha and I are baking a cake right now. Unfold, open your arms like eagle wings. Settle them down on your knees. Take a breath. Just do a straight up twist here. I feel like we haven't done a normal twist for a while. More arms. Inhale your arms overhead. And twist. One way or the other. I don't care which way. Grab the back of the chair. This time we're going to do some active twists. So release and twist. Release and twist. Tiny little motions. Done with the muscles of your arm. If you're sitting on the floor, you've got one hand on your left knee. Your left hand is on the floor behind you. It's easier on a chair because you can grab onto the chair. I'm doing these tiny little movements, just really small. Last one. And then come back through center. Inhale overhead. And there's a reason I make you do this inhale overhead every time. It's to lengthen your spine. Come to the other side. And tiny little twist. Just tiny. I'd say my chest is moving about 2 inches max. Maybe 1. My knees stay firm. My feet are nice and strong on the floor. I can feel my whole footprint on the floor. But I'm feeling this twisting sensation in my belly as I gently twist 2 more times. Release and come back to center. We're going to do a new pose today. We're going to do a twisted side angle. I have no idea if this is going to work. If you're on the floor, you probably want to come up, or you can just come into butterfly pose and do this with your arms this way. So twisted side angle looks like this, or twisted lunge looks like this. So we're going to take our right arm, bring it to our left leg. This is the variation. You can just hold your left leg and twist and breathe. if you want to come into the full variation, take your right elbow around your left knee, place your palms together, and twist. What it looks like if you're standing is this. But on the couch, it looks like this. And on the floor, you can either have butterfly legs or you can come into mermaid arms or mermaid legs and twist like this. Take one more breath. Untwist. Come back through goddess if you're standing. And then turn to the other side. Extend your left leg long. Your right leg is bent. And you know, normally we do side angle like this, right? This time, bring your left arm around. Grab onto your knee or place your left elbow just outside your right knee. Bring your palms together. Twist your body. And take a breath. Really breathe into the twist here. And then gently release when you're ready. Come back gently through warrior. Spread your legs wide no matter where you are. So if you're standing, spread your legs into a wide V. If you're seated, wide V. Exhale, forward fold. And just hang out here in forward fold for a few breaths. You can do anything you like here. You can take any versions. You can hold your toes, you can hold your legs. You can pull your torso from one side to the other. Deeply breathe. Feel the tugging in your inner thighs and your hamstrings all around your hips. You can do the same thing that we did, remember in Goddess, where we dropped one shoulder and then the other? You can do that here. You can also interlace your fingers behind your back. Don't fall off the couch. And bring them up a little. My heels are very strong on the floor here to stop me from falling forward. Gently release. Come up slow. Bring your knees together. Shake everything out. All the limbs, 4 limbs. Wiggle your neck. Find your way to neutral or Shavasana. If you're on the floor or ground, you can lie back in corpse pose. I feel like we haven't done any abs for a while, and I'll do abs tomorrow. But for now, just take your corpse pose, your relaxation pose. Feel your feet heavy on the floor. Either way, whether you're lying down or sitting up. Notice the beating of your heart. See if you can extend your exhale to slow it down. Remember, we're breathing through our nose here. Long, slow, deep breaths, barely moving the nostril hairs. Cultivating an environment of gratitude for your breath. Soften your ankles and your shins. Soften your upper legs and your pelvis. Release your belly. Release the muscles of your trunk. Can you find them? See where you might be holding unconsciously. Search for tension. Soften the back of your neck. Soften your throat. Feel your lips getting softer, muscles of your face getting softer. Soften your eye sockets. And release your forehead. If you need to, you can raise your eyebrows gently. Soften your hair follicles. Imagine your hair just relaxing down. Notice what perfect stillness feels like. Can you return to this state at will? That's one of the things we're practicing here. It's relatively easy to get into this soft state after we've practiced yoga or after we've done breath work. But you can also practice it at other times, stressful situations. Begin to deepen your breath again. Begin to smile your face a little bit, just opening up the aspect of your face. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Start to come back into the room that you're in. You're going from within your body back into this state of connection with your environment. Wiggle your shoulders. Flutter your eyes open. Sparkle your smile upwards. Thank you so much for joining today. It's really nice, super nice to see some new faces. And I hope you'll join us again tomorrow. My name's Nikki. You probably know that, but you never know. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nikki.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Nick.
You're welcome. Now, is this